I'm pretty sure by just the look of the thumbnail and the open to today's show, the fact that we're going to be talking about All Elite Wrestling, I know for a fact it's going to trigger people in the community because there is a certain portion of the audience that doesn't care about All Elite Wrestling. I don't know why. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. Every time All Elite Wrestling is brought up, no matter if it's me or another content creator, much larger channel than I am, the community goes into their bag of excuses and they pull out, oh, you're clickbaiting. Oh, you're trying to get a job with AEW. Oh, you're sucking Cody's dick. I don't know why. I don't know why anybody's not excited about All Elite Wrestling. I mean, do we not need an alternative on Monday and Tuesday nights? I don't know how many people watch Monday Night Raw, but I know for a fucking fact I don't want Jeff fucking Jarrett on my TV in 2019. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Road Dogg and the utilization of Road Dogg should be kept off camera. He's not even doing that good of a job behind the curtain for him to be on television. This is not a new era. The new era that Vince McMahon was talking about in December is directly correlated with AEW. That's the new era. I don't know why people get triggered with the thought or the mention of All Elite Wrestling. Do we not need a fucking alternative on Tuesday nights or Monday night or wherever the fuck they go? I don't give a fuck where they go, what station they're on. It is needed. It is needed. The landscape of this fucking community, the landscape of this business is changing. It is changing. Now, I don't know why people aren't on board. I don't know why people are still not on the AEW team. But I think with the recent report that came out this week, I think you realize how serious they are. They don't want to just give you an alternative wrestling-wise. They want a collection of the greatest talent that this business has to offer. An alternative. People are already talking about, well, JD, look at their roster. They all have similar wrestling styles. So for the simple fact that AEW is now courting Randy Orton, of all fucking people, a guy who has admittedly bashed the acrobatics and the spot fests that we usually see on the indies, the fact that AEW is courting Randy Orton, that should be an indication as to how serious this promotion is going to be. Now, I made a video on it. I made a video on this outstanding offer to this major WWE superstar. Randy Orton didn't even cross my mind. I am telling you right now, Randy Orton didn't even cross my mind as being the one in this major news report. I actually put out a video on Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. it went up. And I recorded it on Tuesday afternoon for Wednesday release. I didn't know anything. I was just going based off my assumption, and I was using what I've already taken as far as information, and I presented it in a way in which, well, it could only be Styles. His contract's up in April. It could be Nakamura. His contract's up in March. It's probably either one of those two. I could see AJ Styles getting an outstanding offer. Anybody could see AJ Styles getting an outstanding offer. I could see Nakamura getting an outstanding offer to leave WWE, knowing that he's unhappy and how they've mistreated him and misbooked him. I could see Nakamura getting an outstanding offer from AEW. But then I got a phone call from a very good friend who has sources, and I was told via phone call, I didn't watch your video yet, but who do you think it is? I'm like, well, it's got to be AJ Styles. He's the one that's been in the name, or the rumor mill, rather. His name has been in the rumor mill. It's got to be Nakamura. Neither one of them. Neither one of them. I'm like, give me a clue. Is he on Raw? Is he on SmackDown? He's on SmackDown. He's a former WWE champion. I wanted to say Jeff Hardy, but I don't think AEW would offer Jeff Hardy alone an outstanding offer to come on in and leave the WWE. So then I'm going down the list of former WWE champions. Well, it can't be Daniel Bryan. Can't be Samoa Joe. He hasn't been a WWE champion, and I don't know how. That's another story for a different day. It can't be anybody else on that roster but one, and the one man that I mentioned, it's not Randy Orton, is it? It's Randy Orton. So when I had put my video out on Wednesday, and then I got the phone call about who it was after I put out my video, I'm like, I didn't see that coming. That completely blindsided me. Randy Orton is indeed being courted by All Elite Wrestling. It was reported on Tuesday via the WrestleVotes Twitter account that AEW has reportedly made an outstanding offer to a current big-time WWE superstar that is almost too good to turn down. At this press of time, WrestleVotes didn't elaborate exactly who it was, but we may have a good idea now with all the reports that have just seemingly come out of nowhere. While reviewing this week's episode of SmackDown Live during the latest installment of Fightful's post-show, Sean Ross Sapp mentioned that he asked around earlier in the afternoon and was told that the current big-time WWE superstar that AEW was talking to was indeed, in fact, Randy Orton. Sean Ross Sapp said that he doesn't know exactly if AEW offered him a contract, but when reached out to AEW, they told him that they are not tampering with WWE talents. He says, and I quote, "Now, they did not reveal the name, and I know who the name is." Now, before I get into this, I'm not saying that this person was offered an AEW deal to leave WWE. I'm not saying that happened because I don't know if that happened. In fact, I asked people in AEW about this, and I was told, and I quote, "We are not tampering. We are not doing that. Our approach is fresh and independent, and the goal is to recruit." Now, what you're likely seeing is a particular agent trying to leverage more money out of WWE by possibly planting shit like this. End quote. He goes on to say, does Sean Ross Sapp, "What I was told this afternoon was that Randy Orton has been openly discussing his willingness to speak with All Elite Wrestling." End quote. So that is the news. Many would consider Randy Orton a WWE lifer at this point. But now with AEW around and making big money offers, you never know who could jump ship next. Randy Orton is a top-level WWE superstar, a 4-time WWE champion. However, it was reported that AEW is currently talking to Orton about bringing him in. A lot of people were surprised by this news, me included. I was absolutely surprised that Randy Orton's name was brought up in this discussion. Orton has remained a constant force on WWE television since 2002. Therefore, Randy Orton leaving WWE would be an absolute fucking crack in the wall that WWE... We talk about Dean Ambrose being the crack in the wall leaving, and he's a main event guy for the last 5 years. You talk about guys like Randy Orton possibly contemplating leaving? What is that going to do to WWE's defenses? I can't even fucking tell you, man. I don't even have words to describe what that would do. Orton, if you're wondering when his deal is up with WWE, Orton signed a 10-year deal with the WWE back on January 30th, 2010. So his WWE contract could be running up at the end of 2019. Obviously, any news regarding this potentially huge situation, as long as it's out there and being reported, I will bring you every bit of information along the way. That's not the only thing, people. That's not the only thing. Major concern over not only Randy Orton now, with the rumors of him being willing and open to talk to AEW, there's major concern over the Usos probably leaving the WWE. Not probably, possibly leaving the WWE. Now, with Randy Orton, that's a shock. The Usos, in my eyes, are even just as big a shock at the possibility of them leaving the WWE. Now, while discussing next week's Miz TV segment featuring The Miz, Shane McMahon and the Usos, during the latest installment of Fightful's post-SmackDown show, Sean Ross Sapp revealed that there is concern within the WWE that the Usos might not re-sign once their contracts are expired. This is what Sean Ross Sapp said, and I quote, "I heard there has been some concern that they might not re-sign with the company. Now, I don't know when their deal is up, but I just heard that there is some internal concern that they might not re-sign. That doesn't mean that they're going to AEW, but it means that there is just some concern." End quote. Now, there's a small update following this previous story from Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp about the Usos possibly not signing a new deal. PW Insider gave you a little bit more of a layer of information on this entire Usos situation. They're reporting the Usos contracts are set to expire in April, and there are talks ongoing about signing them to a new deal. Now, it would not shock me that the Usos let their contracts expire and they explore other options in the pro wrestling world. I don't know what this means for Naomi. Obviously, Naomi's WWE deal right now, we don't know when that expires. Obviously, her link to the Usos. We don't know anything about that. It could certainly be one of those things that creates a snowball effect. But the Usos and Randy Orton here. I'm not sitting here telling you that, Randy Orton's going to AEW or the Usos are going to AEW. I want you guys to understand something. The fact that AEW is willing to throw, this is not some fucking, we'll throw some money at them. This is major fucking money. I heard the Randy Orton deal was for 5 years. Over $5 million. That's $1 million guaranteed a year for Randy Orton with 30 dates on his contract per year. That is Brock Lesnar-like money for a guy who has given his everything to this business. I wouldn't turn that shit down. 30 dates, knowing all the money I could be making on just the contract alone, merchandise, and then the most important aspect of this entire thing is home with his wife, home with his kids, family life. His family's set for life, if they weren't already. They're set for this life and the next life. If I am Randy Orton, you got to take everything into consideration right now. Do I stay with the WWE? Do I listen to Vince's offer? Are they going to give me the same amount of money that Cody and the Khans are offering me? How many days am I going to be working under Vince? The 30, 40 days max that AEW will have him contracted to work, that may be 70, 80, 90, maybe upwards towards 100 days for WWE. Randy might not want that. That might not be good for him. That's time away from his family. That's time on the road. That's more than he really wants to give as far as his body goes. Now, AEW is offering you just as much, if not more than Vince. 30 days, that's all we ask of you. Sit home with your family. We just want you. We want Randy Orton services. That's a fucking major deal. You cannot walk away from that type of deal. Now, does Randy Orton use AEW as leverage to get more of what he wants out of Vince because he wants to remain loyal to Vince McMahon? Yes, that's also a possibility, and I would not be shocked that's the case here. Using AEW as leverage. I honestly look at Randy Orton as a guy that's a lifer. Now, Vince, if AEW is offering Randy Orton this type of money, Vince is going to have to open his bank account, even more so for Randy Orton. He's going to have to give in to give Randy what he wants because in the end of it, it's a business. Randy Orton is going to be in a situation where he has to look out for his best interests. Loyalty and dedication can only go so far. I respect the fact that guys remain loyal to one company, but you have to question one's motives here. You've given so much to Vince McMahon. If he's not willing to give you what you want after all these years of service to him, maybe it's time you start thinking about yourself and what you could do better for your family. That's too good to turn down. I don't think Randy Orton is leaving the WWE, but I would not be shocked if he at least is open to thinking what else is out there. What else is Randy Orton to do in WWE? He doesn't want to work extensively anymore. I heard rumors of WWE actually giving Randy Orton the WWE title, and I heard rumors of WWE wanting Randy Orton to be the guy on SmackDown Live in 2019. I wonder why now. Everything's starting to make sense. Why would you give a guy like Randy Orton the WWE title knowing he wants to work a lax schedule? Give him the WWE title. Show him how much we value you. You're the guy. You've always been the guy. Make him the guy. Now it all starts to make sense because there really is no rhyme or reason to give Randy Orton the WWE title in 2019. We've been there, done that, and we've got so much young talent on SmackDown Live that Randy Orton leading the charge on SmackDown Live in 2019 is just as ridiculous as seeing whatever the fuck is going on Monday Night Raw in 2019. It's an old concept that we don't want to explore anymore. Plus, Randy Orton, if he wants to possibly leave the WWE, look at what awaits him in AEW. You don't think he wants to maybe explore different opponents, work with different guys, win another major world championship under another major promotion? It's very exciting. It is absolutely very exciting. I, honestly, in my heart of hearts, if I'm Randy Orton, I am giving Cody, the Khans, and the Bucks, and All Elite Wrestling every minute of my time to listen to what they have to offer. It doesn't make any sense not to. Now, like I mentioned, the dedication here, that's only going to get you so far. And yes, he's got the family history and the family legacy, but, this is 2019. The landscape of this business is changing. The pro wrestler in today's market is absolutely the luckiest entity out of everything that this business has to offer, man. If you're a pro wrestler in the landscape of today's business, man, there is absolutely no better time to be a pro wrestler. Everybody is going to want everybody's services, and they're going to shell out top dollar for no matter what, because competition right now is brewing. WWE wants everybody so that they don't go to AEW or Ring of Honor or New Japan. These other promotions want the same guys because they don't want them to go to WWE. And they're going to shell out major money for this. When a guy like Randy Orton is a free agent, Jesus fucking Christ, man, the guy's going to make as much money as he's ever made in his entire life. Why would someone not explore that? It's just crazy to even... It's crazy to even contemplate staying with the WWE. I would call him a certified lunatic to not listen to any other offer from AEW. Now, the other thing is, well, this is contract tampering. They can't do that. They can't really offer anybody a contract if he's still under contract with WWE. Who's to say that they just threw feelers out there? Randy Orton can listen to offers. Randy Orton's agent can listen to offers from other promotions. Now, his contract's coming up at the end of the year. Why wouldn't he be listening to offers? When his contract's up at the end of 2019, early 2020, you don't want your... As an independent contractor, you don't want your contract to be up and be like, oh shit, I don't have a fucking job. He wants to go from one place to the other, be given a timetable of when to show up, and he wants to continue working. That's what the most logical thing to do is. He could listen to offers. I'm sure he's good friends with Cody. They work together. Sure, his agent, Orton's agent, listened to offers. If All Elite Wrestling is calling Randy Orton's agent, saying, hey, we want to offer Randy $5.5 million in 5 years, 30 dates. This is what we want to do for him. This is what's awaiting him on the other side of the fence. We know we really can't sit down and negotiate something with him. That would be contract tampering. That would be illegal. But the simple fact that All Elite Wrestling sent out feelers, maybe called his agent, hey, listen, we know your guy's got his contract coming up at the end of the year. This is what we're going to be offering him. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And Randy Orton, I don't know why he wouldn't want to listen to that. He's got this idea of, well, Vince is going to have to sit down with me. This is what I got here. He could use that to his advantage when sitting down with Vince. Hey, listen, they're offering me 5.5 for 5, and they're giving me 30 dates. What could you do? Could you match that? And it's going to be Randy Orton's ball. The ball is going to be in his court. But the contract tampering, they're not tampering with any contracts. They're not physically flying Orton out to Jacksonville, and they're not sitting him in a nice cozy office, serving him a bottle of fucking wine, whining and dining him, sitting down, going over contract deals. That's contract tampering. But the simple fact that they sent feelers out there, maybe to him, Cody sent a text, listen, this is what we could offer you. You know? Just think about it when your contract's out. I just want to throw the line out there. Or maybe they called his agent and said, listen, this is what we could do for Randy. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So I don't want to hear about the contract tampering, or I don't want to, hear that, oh, this is illegal. They can't do that. You can listen. You're not doing anything illegal by listening. Same thing happened with Omega. He didn't sit down with WWE during the time period in which he was waiting for his contract to expire. He heard offers. I'm sure they reached out to Kenny Omega or his agent and let him know, or them know, this is what we could do for you. And then it's Omega's job for his contract to run out. Then he'll make the situation happen where he sits down and goes over whatever contract. And at that point, yes or no. But you could listen to offers. You could listen to offers from anybody. You're not tampering in anybody's deal or current contract. So let's put that to rest. I'm sure Randy Orton heard from different variables about what AEW is going to be doing. Now, the Usos. The Usos. This is the same thing I feel with the Randy Orton situation. The Usos are probably in a better position to leave than to stay. Just creatively. But this is the same situation with Randy Orton as it is with the Usos. Randy Orton, in many people's eyes, including myself, look at Randy Orton as a WWE lifer. I look at the Usos as WWE lifers. Vince and the WWE have done so much for Randy Orton. For the mentality of those listening, it would be foolish for him to walk away from a company and a family that has done so much to take care of him. That would be looked at as a dick move in some people's eyes. Look at what Vince did for you. Now you're going to walk away. Look at what Vince did for the Usos and the Samoan family, right? They're going to walk away. How could they? What a bunch of dicks. That's the mentality that some people will have. But there's also a major concern over the Usos leaving the WWE as well. And with them, it's a little bit more of, maybe we want to go out there and prove ourselves with new talent in a new promotion. They have touted themselves as the best tag team in the world. And I honestly think people listening to me, I think it's incredibly difficult to not mention the Usos in discussion of best tag teams in the entire world. When you're talking about tag team wrestling right now, in the landscape of tag team wrestling in pro wrestling, you're talking about the Bucks, right? They've been out of the game for a little bit because they got AEW going on, but that's not to discredit what they've done. One of the most influential tag teams of all time. You got the Lucha Bros, Pentagon and Phoenix making names for themselves on the indies. You got LAX, and then you got the Usos. Undisputed Era, up-and-coming tag team in WWE down in NXT. Everything that they do literally turns to fucking gold. They work well with anybody. So when you talk about top tag teams in the world, those 5 tag teams are absolutely at the top of the list. The Usos is a team that you could make case for top 3 in the world. No doubt about it. Why wouldn't they want to take that and apply it to AEW or apply it somewhere else? Now, I don't think AEW is going to manage to get the Usos. I honestly think that family tie, I think that Samoan dynasty tie The fact that Vince McMahon is taking care of the Samoan family so much, I don't think the Usos have it within them to walk away from that, knowing what Vince McMahon has done not only for them, but for their family. I could see this being more so the Usos using AEW as leverage to get more money and be more financially stable with the WWE. Now, I don't know. I don't really know about it. I could see that happening, but I question why they would make it all about money and not about creative. Realistically, just like Orton, what is there for the Usos to do in the WWE? Look at the landscape of tag team wrestling. The WWE has done you no favors for you to even stay with the WWE. Yes, the New Day and the Usos, they burn it down, they tear it down every show that they go on. You put them in the ring, it's going to be a classic. Same thing with the Bar. How many times throughout a single calendar year can you do the same thing over and over and over again without feeling some sort of way about, man, we're really holding ourselves back? You know, there's only so much we could do and say about us being the world's best tag team, and we've been in the ring with the New Day and the Bar, and that's about it. Now, if WWE steps up and gives me tag team wrestling the way we deserve on Raw and SmackDown, that could open up the door for an Usos versus the Revival, or an Usos versus an AOP, or an Usos versus Undisputed Era when they get called up. But I would not want the Usos to simply be in a position where they're using AEW for leverage just to be more financially stable. The Usos, if the Usos go to AEW, it opens up a whole new world of possibility for them. And you could probably label this with the Randy Orton situation too. You know, I'm thinking for what I would do for myself. These guys, obviously, their mentality is going to be a little bit different. What else is out there? Like, Randy Orton's been sheltered in WWE for all these years. He doesn't know what else is out there. He doesn't know how good he truly is unless he steps out of that WWE bubble and proves to everybody that he really is one of the greatest of all time. I'd love to see it. I know he is, but I'd love to see his talents elsewhere because he's been in that bubble for so long. It's nice to step out and have a new environment and new wrestlers to work with. Same thing with the Usos. You don't think I want the Usos to possibly contemplate thinking about going to AEW? The Usos versus the Lucha Bros, the Usos versus the Young Bucks. Those are headlining acts. The Usos versus LAX, if LAX ends up signing with AEW. I mean, holy shit. Holy shit. I'd shell out major money to watch a match with the Usos and any one of those teams. You want to prove to me that you're the best tag team in the fucking world? Open your mind and give it a thought about leaving WWE. If the WWE is offering you nothing and they are promising change and they've yet to deliver on this change, why stay? Knowing that there are AEW out there, the Bucks are out there, AEW's out there offering you the same amount of money Vince is going to offer you. It's not about, you know, leaving the WWE. It's not about all the dedication and the loyalty to what Vince did for us and our family and our entire Samoan dynasty, our Samoan family. Sometimes you have to think about yourself. What do you want? What is most important to you at the end of the day? Really, what is most important to you at the end of the day? The landscape of wrestling is changing. Why are people leaving, or at least exploring options of leaving the WWE? It's not cash. It's not cash. It's creative. Every situation we've seen, every report we've seen about talent leaving, it has to do with creative. Why would the Usos stay with the WWE knowing that their tag team situation is the worst it's ever been? Why would you stay with the WWE knowing that their creative has done you no favors? Now they're in a tag team title match with the team of Shane McMahon and The Miz. You don't think the WWE is going to give the Usos the tag team championships? There's a reason. There's a reason why the Usos were placed in this position at this time. And I don't want to hear, oh no, that's not the case. It's very coincidental that the Usos now are in a tag team title opportunity. More than likely, they'll end up winning the tag team titles before we get to WrestleMania. Why is that? Because the tag team titles on the Usos is just WWE's way of enticing them to stay and stay with the WWE. If their contracts weren't up in April, then they would be nowhere near this tag team title match. I know that to be a fact. I don't need no fucking report to tell me otherwise. Same thing with Randy Orton, the reports about him maybe winning the Elimination Chamber. I would not be shocked if Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber or the WWE title in this calendar year. It's been reported. It's got to be a reason why it was reported. WWE is going to do everything they can to entice these certain individuals to stay with the WWE. But it's not about cash anymore. It's not about cash anymore. People in today's wrestling industry, the business today, they want to go out there and prove how good you are. These guys want to go out there and go to a promotion and prove how good they are. Are you proving how good you are by staying in the WWE bubble in a tag team division that offers nothing? Nothing. Absolute 100% change needs to happen to even warrant the Usos thinking about staying. I'm not talking about family. I'm talking about their careers. Do they like staying in the WWE bubble? I know I wouldn't. Does Randy Orton? Maybe Randy Orton does. I don't fucking know. I know if I'm Randy Orton and AEW is offering me the type of money that I heard they offered him, why would you even contemplate staying with the WWE? It's not about money. It's not about money. If they're throwing that money at you, look at how much they value your talent. Plus, they're saying, we know you want to be home with your family. This is what we're going to give you. And we're going to give you the top fucking talent in the industry to work with. Nothing seems bad about that deal to me. I know I'd pay money for a Randy Orton Kenny Omega fucking match. I hope WWE realizes what's happening here. I really do. And I honestly think it's too little too late. It's not about the money. It's all about the creative. If WWE has given us creative that made the shows decent on a week-to-week basis, and not the shit that we're getting now, if they've ended up treating their talent properly throughout all these months and years without neglecting talent and mistreating talent and just showing us how unimportant certain guys are, maybe we wouldn't be in this position. If they took the steps to fix the tag team division, maybe we wouldn't be in a situation where the Revival's asking for their release. Maybe we wouldn't be in a position where the Usos contracts are up and now rumors of them possibly asking, themselves, what do we do? Do we stay or do we go? This is a major situation. One that has to be thought about carefully. Now, I know this is a business and I know everybody's going to look out for themselves and I know now's the time where they can make the most money that they can. But there's also an alternative here. There's also an alternative. AEW is going to be offering the same amount of money that WWE is going to be offering you. They're going to be offering you a fresh new start on your career. They're going to be giving you another level to your career in which you can prove how great you are. You've already proved how great you are in the WWE. You have a name, you have a business, you have a brand built up for yourself. AEW wants to expand on that. They want to give you a platform to show you how great you are. If they're offering you the same amount of money and offering you something that WWE cannot and will not in creative and a fresh batch of talent and a division that they fucking care about, why would you even stay? Why would you even stay? Do you understand what I'm talking about? If I'm the Usos, I'm gone. I'm gone. Dedication and loyalty, honestly, can only go so far. Because if that was a determining factor, I always go back to this. Tom Glavine would have never left the fucking Braves. I don't know how much money the Mets offered him when he jumped ship from the Braves to the Mets, but I know for a fact that the Braves, they probably gave him a little less of a contract offer than the Mets did. The Mets needed Glavine more than the Braves did. But why didn't Glavine stay with the Braves? That loyalty and dedication really didn't mean anything in the end. He took a new offer. He took a new environment. He took his services, which he thought he could still do at a high level, to another team in hopes that he could maybe win them a world championship. It's the same thing. It's the same fucking situation. Dedication and loyalty only go so far. Now, when you're talking about Randy Orton, maybe that dedication, maybe he's using AEW as leverage, like I said. Dedication might be a thing with Randy Orton. I don't know Randy Orton personally, but being that he's been there so long, maybe it doesn't really make much sense for him to do anything else. But the Usos, I absolutely see just going somewhere else and tearing the world the fucking apart, man. They are too good to be residing in the WWE bubble, fighting the same fucking teams over and over and over again. It's going to be a huge situation as we get on, man. And when a TV deal is announced, the TV deal is looming. The cracks in the wall for WWE are going to be, getting larger and larger and larger, week by week by week. And these guys are not the only ones who are contemplating leaving. They're not. I got more news on everything. AEW-wise, I got more news on Rusev. Sasha Banks drops a major hint about possibly leaving WWE, man. All this plus so much more. This is the 5-year anniversary show, Off the Script, episode 260. This is part number 1, and I will see you guys right after the intro in just a little bit. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com. This
is Off the Script. Man, how terrible was WWE television this week? Am I losing my mind? I love Simon Miller. I think he's great. I think Simon Miller on What Culture is one of the best personalities in the YWC. But for the love of God, the man may have taken too many fucking punches to the head. 10 ups. 10 ups for Raw. I wouldn't give that show 1 up. Maybe Becky. Maybe Becky gets 1 up. After that, I don't know how anybody could willingly sit there and watch With My Baby Tonight, Jeff Jarrett strutting on Monday Night Raw, doing the Double J strut, Michael Cole nauseatingly selling that on commentary, man. At that point, I just wanted to fucking bleach my eyes. I couldn't take it anymore. And people legitimately in this community are like, Raw was better than it was last week, man. They're improving. What are they improving on? They're improving your quality of life because probably you got an extra hour or 2 of sleep. I know for a fact I gave up at 10:30. There was no way I was watching Kurt Angle in the main event of Monday Night Raw in 2019. So I came here, I got the review done by 11:30, and boom. Boom. I was on PS4 by 11:30. This is Off the Script, man. Thank you guys so very much. This entire show isn't up, motherfucker. There's no downs here. Episode 260. It's the 5-year anniversary of Off the Script, believe it or not. And what pains me with this 5-year anniversary is that the fact is YouTube deleted, many, many years ago, YouTube deleted the very first episode of Off the Script. I don't know why. It blocked the entire video worldwide. I could not get it back. It's something that I did not save on a hard drive somewhere. That's my fault, I guess. But when you go look at Off the Script on YouTube, you'll find that the first episode of Off the Script is episode 2. But I guess episode 1 and episode 2 are kind of the same thing. So whatever the case may be, you guys get a glimpse as to see the growth of the show, how I was just nauseatingly bad back then, and now I'm the fucking AEW Chief Information Officer. Keep hanging from my strings, you fucking puppets on social media. Anyway, man, thank you guys so much for 5 great years. 5 more to come. This is not the end game at all. I have goals that I've achieved being here in the first 5 years, and I have goals that I will achieve in the next 5 years. Believe me, and I thank you guys for being with me through this great journey, man. So I hope you guys are ready for another 5 years of great content right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, man. It is imperative you guys follow me on social media, both on Twitter and Instagram. Same deal. JD from NY206. I've been uploading on Instagram a lot more clips of the show. I've been giving you guys some more content on Instagram, so make sure you guys follow me on there. I'd like to get to 10,000 followers on Instagram right before the summer, so if you guys want to go over there and follow me, if you got an Instagram account, I don't know who doesn't in 2019, unless you hate social media altogether, go and follow me over there, man. It's a fun time. Follow me on Twitter as well. I'm always on Twitter, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, give you my thoughts on everything WWE, at JD from NY206. Follow me on Twitch, JD from New York, if you guys like the video game stuff over there. And hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that bell for all notifications, man. It's imperative you guys turn on the bell because YouTube, I don't know why, I just feel like they love to inconvenience all the content creators. YouTube has done away with automatically pushing the content to Twitter. So now I have to go in manually every time I upload a video and then word the tweet the way I want it. I got to tweet out the link to the video so the people on Twitter know that I uploaded. YouTube doesn't do that automatically anymore. It's a pain in the fucking ass. I don't know why. Apparently, to them, the analytics show that there is more engagement when the content creator does it manually than YouTube automatically pushing it out. I don't know where the logic is in that, but whatever the fucking case is, make sure you guys turn on that bell so at least you have yourself covered as to when I upload content. And if you guys don't mind, man, you've been slacking. I love you all, but you've been slacking. Hit that like button. I want to see 2,000 fucking likes before I put my head down to sleep on this very video. And if you do, I'll buy you a beverage. How about that? Whatever you want, as long as it's not fucking Bud Light, or Budweiser, or Coors Light, or Miller Light, or Yuengling. I'll buy you some good shit. I'll buy you a Guinness. You gotta grow some hair on your fucking chest, man. You gotta drink some real beer. I drank some real beer for my birthday, man. Thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes, by the way. I turned 37. I don't look it. I don't feel it. But I had some nice craft beer on my birthday. Only way for me to celebrate 36 years on this earth. Thank you guys so much for the subscribers that actually remembered my birthday, man. Thank you guys so much for that. Love you all. Like I said, thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. Follow me on Patreon, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I want to shout out some people over on the Patreon side of things, man. Mike Guaz from Brooklyn. He raised his pledge on my birthday. Thank you so much, Mikey. 10, he raised his pledge to $20, man. Eric Sanchez pledged $5 on my birthday as well. Thank you so much, man. Robert Arnez raised his pledge from $5 to $6. Justin Smith pledging $5 as well, man. Thank you guys so very much. Ariel Figueroa as well. I can't forget him. He's there. $5 pledge there on the Patreon page. Martin Spiller raised his pledge from $5 to $6. And Maple Leafs Aries, he pledged $10 on February 4th, man. So thank you guys so very much for all of that. And if you want to do that, completely optional, up to you guys. It's down there, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. We got the new shirt available. The new shirt is available, man, and we broke our campaign goal already. You guys want to be a part of the JD Elite? Then go get your t-shirt, man. Available all month. Official merchandise now on bonfire.com. And we broke our campaign goal. You guys are absolutely fucking beast. If you guys want to go get it, man, bonfire.com. Link is down in the description below. I got to shout out all these elite members because it's only the right thing to do, man. Emmanuel, thank you so much, brother. Good seeing you in Orlando right before NXT. Zach, Sal, come on, you motherfucker. I'll see you soon, bro. Zacharias, I got Chris, I got Andrew, I got Aaron, I have Brian, I got Matthew, Richard, Tom, Monique, I got Thomas, I got Frank, Spencer, Jose, Ron, Cassandra, Richard, and finally, Daniel, man. Thank you guys so much for becoming a part of the JD Elite, man. Look at all these fucking elite members, man. My army is growing day by day. Why don't you become an elite JD member, man? Bonfire.com, available now. Some say it's the best looking shirt that we've got so far, and that is including the Negan design, man. So go get yours today, bonfire.com. Link is down in the description below. I got content on the channel, man. You might have missed it. So we're going to cycle through some of the things that we got on the content or on the channel as far as content-wise this week. Resident Evil 2, man. Show me what that tongue can do. My first interaction with the liquor. The Velveteen Dream bypasses Tommaso Ciampa for Johnny Gargano's North American title. Unreal. Unreal. And you guys think, being that I was at the tapings, that I know who the new North American champion is. No, 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 no. We don't. We don't know what happened. NXT was great this week, man. We had that great opening segment with Ciampa, Gargano, and The Dream. We got the debut of Erik Bugenhagen. Guy's going to be a household name, man. He was already featured in, I believe, one of the metal magazines. I don't know which one it was. Metal Hammer, or it was something really major, following his debut on NXT TV, man. So go and check that out. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. Becky Lynch was suspended on Monday Night Raw. They got this, from what some people tell me, they feel like it's Vince Stone Cold-esque. I don't get that feeling. Becky was suspended. She follows up by showing up on SmackDown Live and smacking the taste out of Triple H's mouth. So I go over all that. Plus, we talk about who I thought the major star was getting a major deal from AEW. I thought it was Nakamura or AJ Styles, but as we talked about in the beginning of the show today, it was Randy Orton. All this content is live on the channel right now, man. Make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out. Gotta shout out Harry's, man. I gotta shout out Harry's. You guys know the deal about Harry's. What are you guys doing as far as your shaving needs in 2019, man? You guys know my story with Harry's. I've been with Harry's for over a year, and it's been legitimately the best shave I've had, period. And Harry's wants to give you guys that opportunity to feel the same way that I do. Harrys.com/script is where you're going to go. That is the unique link that they've provided for all off-the-script listeners, man. Harrys.com/script. What you guys are going to get is the following. You guys are going to get a razor handle, and that is going to come in one of three colors. You guys can obviously choose which color you want, and it's either the orange, the evergreen, or the navy blue. You guys are going to get a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip with a trimmer blade, and believe me, the trimmer blade comes in handy. You're going to get a generous, rich, lathering bottle of their shave gel, 2 ounces. It soothes, it hydrates, it smells fantastic. And you're going to get a travel blade color absolutely free, a $13 value for free. Now, Harry's founders are tired. They were tired of paying for razors that were overpriced, overdesigned. They knew a great shave doesn't come from the gimmicks that you see today with the vibrating heads and the flex balls and the handles that look like spaceships. Tactics that the leading brands use to raise prices on this product, and they've been doing it for decades, man. They fixed all that, combining simple, clean, quality, durable blades at a fair price. Harry's bought a world-class blade factory in Germany that's been making quality blades for over 95 years. They back their product with a 100% quality guarantee, and you guys will get a full refund if you are unhappy with Harry's. Harry's has received over 20,000 5-star reviews from Trustpilot and Google, and 10 million people have tried Harry's worldwide. I want you guys to do the same thing, man. Harrys.com/script. Once again, Harrys.com/script to redeem your offer and let them know that I sent you here on Off the Script to go and try that product, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support right here on Off the Script. Moving on with the show, man, we got news on Rusev. He's the next in line. He is the next in line to possibly be the one to leave the WWE. Rusev needs to tell Vince McMahon he is leaving WWE if things don't change for him. Rusev has pretty much put his frustrations out there on social media about what does he have to do. What does he have to do? Rusev, from a year ago, even 2 years ago, has transformed himself body-wise. He looks absolutely in the best shape of his entire life. Rusev doesn't seem like he's in a good place right now on WWE television. They gave him the United States title. He really didn't do anything with it when he won it on Christmas Day. SmackDown Live was taped for Christmas Day. He won it in a great match with Nakamura. He didn't really do anything with it. It wasn't featured. He wasn't featured. More importantly, the title, like I said, wasn't featured. And he went into the Royal Rumble with a very lackluster feud that really didn't make any sense. In a new era where rematches are passé and they're antiquated, they gave Nakamura a rematch at the Royal Rumble on the pre-show, of all places. So, he's hardworking, and he has not seen the results from WWE that a lot of people feel he deserves. Bully Ray actually discussed Rusev's current situation in WWE on Busted Open Radio. The WWE Hall of Famer said that Rusev needs to be very frank and have a very frank conversation with Vince McMahon about their intentions with him. This also needs to be a conversation that Lana, his wife, is left out of. He says, and I quote, "It's time for him to have a real one-on-one conversation with Vince McMahon. That conversation is not with his wife next to him. It's you walk in Vince's office, you basically say to Vince, boss, what the fuck? What is it going to take you? And if we're not going to do anything, let's shake hands and part ways." End quote. This is what Bully Ray pretty much put out there over the airwaves on Busted Open Radio, giving Rusev advice. This is what you need to do. Bully Ray continued to discuss how great Rusev looks right now. The Bulgarian Brute has experienced a real physical transformation in the past few months. Therefore, he is obviously taking his run and his character in WWE very seriously. If WWE can't find anything to do for him, then Rusev could really benefit from having a simple and blunt conversation with Vince McMahon. Now, as far as Lana, I do believe Lana needs to sit out of that conversation. This has to do with Rusev. Being a WWE superstar was and is Rusev's dream, but he might be stuck in a position that does him no favors until he puts his foot down. Normally, I would sit here, and before AEW, I would have given you the answer of, well, Vince and this type of confrontational sit-down that we feel some of these guys should have might not end up being the best decision for these types of talents. But now with AEW, and I mentioned this before, with AEW, they're now looming and throwing out big money offers to Randy Orton. They got their eyes on Nakamura and AJ Styles and the Usos and everybody else that's a major player in WWE, filling voids for their company through WWE. They might find that these individuals are disgruntled and unhappy with creative. They want to offer them a creative outlet with the same type of money that WWE is going to be offering them to come on in. Back in the day, I felt this method would have been a career killer. This would have been the worst decision for anybody in Rusev's position to do. Now with AEW, I honestly think walking on those eggshells got a little bit easier. We always hear people about walking on eggshells and WWE not being vocal. If someone is unhappy or they're just unhappy with what's going on with their character on TV or why they're not on TV, people usually, it's reported that they stay quiet because they don't want to risk losing, whatever position that they have on TV right now, or they don't want to be buried anymore on TV if they do make it to TV. They don't want to make their case worse. Rusev's case could not be any better than it is right now. With AEW looming, I know for a fact that AEW would take Rusev in a heartbeat. He looks great, the guy can go, and he brings name value to AEW that I'm sure they would love to have. So sitting down with Vince McMahon now is probably in Rusev's best interest. And it's probably an easier talk now than it would have been a year ago, 2 years ago. Every time Rusev is getting close to possibly breaking through, WWE seems to have this tight-knit leash on Rusev, and they always yank it back. He won the United States title, and they just took it off of him for absolutely no reason. Now, some people have their methods and their conspiracy theories as to why R-Truth was given the United States Championship. I don't know why he was given the United States Championship. I will not be repeating any of that stuff here. But Rusev, honestly, they seem like they push him and then they stall. They push him and then they stall. Do you know what that does to one's mentality? You're telling him, we believe in you, but we don't believe in you enough. We believe in you, we don't believe in you enough. You're the flavor of the week, And now you're falling out of favor. I don't understand that mentality. Do you know what that would do to me if the company gives me the U.S. title and then 3 weeks later takes the U.S. title off of me, knowing that I really didn't do anything with it, knowing Rusev wanted to do something with it, how happy he was when he won the title, and they took it off of him for no reason? The fact that he has not been in anything major since his match at Extreme Rules with AJ Styles, the guy's done nothing. The guy's done nothing. The guy's done nothing for the last 3 years. The guy has been in a position to get himself over with Aiden English and WWE then. As always, not striking while the iron was hot, wanted to fan the flames on that before it even started. That's where it all completely went downhill for Rusev. He was as hot as he ever has been with Aiden English and Rusev Day in that tag team. There's still, to this very day, nobody that can convince me that they shouldn't have won the tag team titles in 2017. No one. That was a great team. That was a great team. Not only was Rusev over, he was helping Aiden English get over. Aiden English was the biggest benefactor of being with Rusev. And Rusev on his own, Rusev Day was fucking crazy. Rusev Day shirts all over the place. Rusev Day chants all over the place. No one can convince me that they should not have won the tag team titles, at least going into WrestleMania or at WrestleMania. WWE's done nothing with Rusev since then. I'm looking at this and I'm documenting all this, and I'm like, why would Rusev even want to stay with this company if he has a contract coming up? Knowing that he could probably make more money than WWE is willing to give him, I honestly don't think that WWE sees Rusev as a major player, and if they're going to offer him a deal, a competitive deal, to not go to AEW, they'll give him something generous, but I honestly think that AEW would double or triple the amount of money for Rusev and use Rusev in a creative way that he's been wanting and fucking dreaming of for the last 3 or 4 years. It makes no sense for Rusev to stay in the WWE. None! How many times do you need to be shown that they don't care about you? And if Rusev has a contract coming up, they'll probably put the United States Championship back on him anyway. Hey, we care about you. There's your title. Give me a fucking break. I'll say it once, and I'll say it again. Eggshells. They're a little bit easier to walk on nowadays in WWE. Sitting down with Vince McMahon might actually be the best thing for Rusev to do right now, because Vince knows that AEW and the AEW effect is running wild through his company. And there's nothing that he can do to stop it. So you either want Rusev, you're going to promise him that he's going to be a major player on TV, or you get rid of him and cut your losses. Now, the other thing that I'm thinking about with this is the fact that WWE has, by the way, SmackDown Live is 2 hours, and they don't utilize even a fucking half of their roster on SmackDown Live. I feel like we see the same people over and over again every week. There's no reason why we can't see Rusev in a prominent role on SmackDown Live. None. The other thing I'm thinking about is WWE has so much talent that I feel like Rusev might be one of those guys that gets lost in the shuffle, that they got so much talent that they don't know what to do with, and you by default, you get lost in the shuffle. That could be a reason, but I don't think that's the reason here. I honestly think that WWE knows how talented Rusev is. Rusev is over. Rusev could be over, but they refuse to do anything about it. It's like it's on, it's off. It's on, it's off. It's like a fucking light switch. You know? Sometimes they want him to be on, sometimes they want him to be off. I don't like it. Eggshells right now are as easy, they're easy to walk on nowadays because of AEW. You got to sit down with Vince and tell him. And honestly, the way the landscape is right now, Vince actually might like that you're taking initiative. You're going out there and pulling him aside and telling him what you want. You know, dude, I've been here for fucking, look how long I've been here. What have I gotten? You know, I want to work for you. I want to be featured. There's no reason why he should not. Now, there are doing things like that and sitting down with Vince that could be looked at as being respectable. And there are things that just make you look like a fucking idiot. I have been told from several people that I know who are in and around the industry and with people who know people in WWE, this is not how you go about things. Behavior like this could severely hinder what they think of you and what they do with you on television. Now, Sasha Banks, I love Sasha Banks. I honestly think she's the best female performer in all of WWE on the main roster, in ring-wise. I think she's the best, or if not that, one of the best. She is absolutely fantastic at what she does. But she's just like me. She's just like me. And this is why I think I like her so much. She's very vocal. When something is bothering her, she will do anything she can to let that frustration out. She does not bite her tongue at all. And she dropped a major hint this week on Instagram because Mauro Ranallo, he loves to play the piano. This is his thing. You know, it calms him down. He loves showing his musical talent to his audience on Instagram or on Twitter. Sasha Banks seen a Mauro Ranallo video on Instagram showing off his piano skills. Sasha Banks commented saying something that fans did not expect to see from Sasha Banks. She says, and I quote, "You need to call one of my matches before I leave," end quote. That said, that Sasha Banks is another one that WWE needs to keep happy because Sasha Banks could be out the door when her contract is up as well. We don't have any news on Sasha Banks' contract. This isn't the first time she's been hinting about leaving the WWE either. It's always something cryptic with Sasha Banks. She's done it with the Revival. She's done it on Twitter. You know, the Revival, you know, when they were, you know, really, I guess, asking for their release and the news about them really leaving hit the internet. You know, Sasha Banks was tweeting them, "Oh, take you with me," or they mentioned something, but going back to NXT, "Please take me with you." These are cheap shots indirectly at, A, she's unhappy, B, she's unhappy with Raw and SmackDown and wants to be back in NXT because everybody knows NXT is the A brand. But putting that out there publicly, when we all know WWE monitors everybody's social media in the company down to a T, clearly someone's seen that. Clearly someone's seen this. And I'm sure that this does not bode well for Sasha Banks. Shit like this, people are talking about them winning the women's tag team titles at the Elimination Chamber. I would not be shocked if this is a cause for them not to win the tag team titles. So if I'm Bayley, I'm pissed. What are you doing? You're ruining our chances. You're making us seem both bad in the eyes of WWE management. You know, I am affiliated with you. What you do directly affects me. This goes to show you how unhappy people are, because if you're a happy employee, you're not going to go out there and say shit like this. That clearly, once it's said, it's on the internet, there'll be someone waiting to screenshot what you say because that's how fucking terrible our society is. Everybody wants to see everybody else fail. But this is doing Sasha Banks no favors. This was genuinely stupid. It was a genuinely stupid thing to say. And then when Sasha Banks is off television, and when WWE, you know, has no plans for Sasha Banks, they'll look back at this and they'll realize, well, this is exactly why Sasha Banks isn't on television. Right here. Why isn't Sasha on television? There you go. This is all the answer you need. Not really a good look for the company. She's an employee with WWE. Now, Rusev's been doing the same thing. You know, quoting that he's frustrated. What do I got to do? Vince, what do I got to do? You know, what do I got to do to be seen better in your eyes? You know, maybe they've already tried to talk to management. Maybe they've tried to talk. We don't know. Maybe Rusev's tried to talk to management. Maybe Sasha Banks has tried to talk to management on and off about them using her or the fact that they've used her and mistreated her for all of 2018. Maybe they've tried to talk and nothing has gone through. Maybe this is their next line of attack for WWE to maybe open up and listen. Because if they went to management or Vince McMahon specifically by themselves and nothing worked, maybe they feel by doing it on social media that they'll rally fan support and something will have to be done. I don't know. But all I know is that when Sasha Banks is not pushed on TV or when she doesn't win the Women's Tag Team Championship with Bayley, this is something that's going to stick in people's minds. Well, there you go. You need to call one of my matches before I leave. Where you going? Where you going? You calling Cody up? Sasha Banks would look great in AEW. Believe me. And I think she knows that too. Dolph Ziggler seems to be sticking around with the WWE as if anybody fucking cares. I mean, do you care? I love Ziggler, but I don't think he's got anything to do on the main roster. Ziggler's contract status was a bit of a mystery before the Royal Rumble. Then he went into the Royal Rumble and eliminated Drew McIntyre. So clearly he must not be that bad off in the WWE. He was elusive during an interview and said that he was on hiatus. Apparently, that was a 3-day hiatus because Ziggler returned at the Royal Rumble. This isn't the first time fans have wondered about Ziggler's status, but he is signed to a new deal. He actually signed a new deal last fall. Therefore, PW Insider reports he will be continuing with his unique agreement with WWE. There was a report that WWE wanted to turn Ziggler into a backstage producer, but he was not interested. It looks like he might just be working house shows, but you can never count out Ziggler from appearing on television. Ziggler's stand-up comedy career is really taking off, according to some, and he's doing a lot more dates. However, at this moment, he is not leaving WWE. I honestly think if Ziggler's staying with the WWE, let him do the house shows, let him get his work in. Obviously, he still loves wrestling. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing the house shows. He wouldn't be signing to the WWE if he doesn't enjoy what he's doing. If they have nothing for him on TV, it may be best if Dolph Ziggler stays off TV. There were rumors about Dolph Ziggler coming on in to the WWE after this hiatus and starting or forming a stable of disgruntled WWE superstars. Now, that was rumored recently, and it was rumored last year as well at some point. You know, that he can come on back and he could take over a disgruntled group of WWE superstars. Maybe Ziggler could be paired with Mojo Rawley, or Ziggler could be paired with Rusev, or Ziggler could be paired with Shelton Benjamin. You know, something like that. People who are not being used on television, people who are promised TV time and have yet to get TV time, underutilized talents. A band of misfits is what they said. I could see that. I could really see that, but are we going to care in the end? You know, how far is a gimmick like that? How far can that go? What's their ceiling? I feel like everything with Ziggler, and this is why I don't know why he signed the WWE deal, because Ziggler has already reached a ceiling. He's reached a certain ceiling that he will never pass. He will never break through this ceiling. He's done everything he can in the WWE, so obviously he's one of those guys that I mentioned that's being loyal to the company. He feels like he has to stay because of what the company's done for a guy like him. I don't think Ziggler's the type of guy that is comfortable leaving his friends and the camaraderie and the loyalty of the WWE. I don't think Ziggler's confident enough in his abilities or himself to go somewhere else and venture into uncharted waters and take a risk on himself. I don't know why. Ziggler's probably one of the best guys that they fucking got in ring. You take Ziggler out of the WWE, you put him in AEW, the amount of merchandise he could sell, the quality of matches that he could have, and the amount of money he could make, it's foolish. It's absolutely foolish. Now, he signed. We don't know what Ziggler's feeling is right now. Ziggler signed when AEW really wasn't even a thing. He might not have known what we know now. We don't know how long this contract is, whether he signed 1 or 2 years. WWE usually gives out contracts in multi-year terms, 2, 3 years. Now they up that to 5 because they don't want to stress themselves out with people leaving to go to AEW. It might have been a 2-year deal for Ziggler. His contract might not be up until 2021. But I think that was a foolish move. So Ziggler being off television, it's probably best for him. But when he comes back to WWE television, it's going to be like, oh, Dolph Ziggler. Oh, he's still here. Instead of going and creating a new persona for yourself and going to AEW and just having a different environment underneath you, that probably would have been best for Dolph Ziggler. Now, another thing logically that you got to think about is Dolph Ziggler, he might still want to wrestle, but it's not his priority anymore. He wants to do movies. He wants to do TV spots. He wants to do the comedy. Maybe with him staying with the WWE, they allow him to use that Dolph Ziggler moniker when he does his comedy shows, when he does a TV skit or a TV appearance or, something on maybe a movie. Dolph Ziggler. He's got that whole branding about the Dolph Ziggler name. Instead of his real name, Nick Nemeth or Nemeth, right? Who's going to fucking know who Nick is? People know who Dolph Ziggler is. So I could see him maybe staying with the WWE to further his personal career under the Dolph Ziggler moniker because everybody knows Dolph Ziggler. I don't know. But I would love to see Dolph Ziggler push himself as a pro wrestler. I don't really give a shit about comedians in general. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he found a passion. I'm glad he loves what he's doing. But as far as wrestling, I know for a fact the guy wants to continue wrestling. We know how great Dolph Ziggler is. And as a fan, I would love to see Dolph Ziggler build on that and go somewhere where he's appreciated, where he can give me the matches we know he can give us. That's just what I think. But Ziggler's sticking around with the WWE nonetheless. Dean Ambrose, someone who's not sticking with the WWE. Ambrose is leaving the WWE, but he was still featured on Raw this week. A lot of fans thought that this was a surprising move and wondered if it meant Ambrose might actually be staying with the company. Now, I made a off-the-script video last week, and we talked about Dean Ambrose and it possibly being a work. Nothing wrong with it possibly being a work. There was nothing wrong with the people who thought it might have been a work. But with everything that we seen that didn't really add up, his promo on Triple H, Nia Jax, and all this bullshit with Dean Ambrose. Coming into Raw this week, that was one of the big talking points. But Ambrose, when we seen him on Monday Night Raw, and he was losing to EC3 in relatively squash fashion, we kind of know where the direction for Dean Ambrose is going, or what WWE thinks of Dean Ambrose in this time. They're not really doing much of anything. And Ambrose didn't really have a good night on Raw. He came out and he approached EC3 on a moment of piss with Alexa Bliss. He went from being serious to Triple H the last week to comedic and sarcastic and funny and goofy with EC3 on Monday Night Raw. So I'm telling you right now, just like I stated on Monday Night Raw Review, the entire thing with Dean Ambrose is no longer a work. He's gone. He is as good as gone. What he does when he leaves the WWE in April, I don't know. Whether he takes the year off to clear his mind, or whether he waits for his contract to come up and then goes to AEW and shows up in May in Vegas at Double or Nothing. I don't know. But I know AEW is going to be waiting for him after that contract is up. But it's all on Dean Ambrose. He might pull a CM Punk and just disappear. I don't know. He may be that fucking pissed off and frustrated. He might be that disgruntled. But Wade Keller was the man who initially broke this news on Ambrose leaving the WWE. He was asked during his post-show on Raw if this situation is a work, and he had a very blunt response. He says, and I quote, "I can't rule it out, but this is not giving out those smoke signals. And after Raw, they're not." That's what I feel. That's my addition to what Wade Keller is saying. After, Raw, there are no more smoke signals about it being a work. It's definitely Ambrose is gone. It's not giving out any of those indications at this time for me, based on people in WWE that I've spoken to about this, and I'm told by people that I trust that it's not really something to spend more time considering, him staying with the WWE. We'll see. It's wrestling. But based on what I know and what I've told and what I was told and who I've talked to, I don't think that is what's happening at all. End quote. And if you thought Dean Ambrose coming out and having some of the best moments on Raw was an indication that he might possibly be staying, a lot of people are going to end up being wrong. The plan is for Ambrose to leave the WWE once his contract is up. Losing to EC3 puts him in a further position from where he wants to be anyway. We don't even know what his WrestleMania role is. I read a report that WWE has Ambrose at the 8 a.m. time slot for WrestleMania Access, WrestleMania weekend, on Sunday. That slot is usually served for people who are on the DL, on the injured list, or people that are not going to be featured on WrestleMania because they're doing Access and then you're going to go to WrestleMania and perform. And they usually reserve that for people who are not there so they don't have to make the trek all the way to the stadium and get ready for what they got to do for the day's activities for the pay-per-view. So, Dean Ambrose might not even have a WrestleMania match. Not to say that he can't make the show, but as of right now, I don't see Dean Ambrose in a major program going into WrestleMania, not after losing to EC3. And that was a major WrestleMania rumor for Dean Ambrose. EC3 versus Dean Ambrose. I'm glad that we got it now and got it out of the way because it was fucking terrible. It was absolutely fucking terrible. And what's going on with EC3? Really? The guy, we heard him speak for the first time in ring when he did EC3. And he dropped that elbow drop. But every time the guy has had a microphone in his hand, it's as if it's some sort of running joke. Someone knocks the microphone out of his hand. Someone interrupts him. He's doing nothing but posing in a mirror. This is what EC3's gimmick is on Monday Night Raw. You've already ruined EC3 as far as I'm concerned. They've already strayed so far away from what they wanted to do with him in NXT that I don't give a shit about EC3 on the main roster. Who the fuck is EC3? Why am I to care about EC3 if the guy verbally hasn't even expressed who the fuck he is yet? He has some idea about bringing up the NXT talent. Well, let's get them in front of a fucking camera. The guy hasn't had a fucking slot on the microphone yet. Why is anyone going to care who he is if he can't express to the audience who he is, where he came from? Who the fuck is an EC3 to anybody? Ambrose said it best. EC3. What happened to EC1 and EC2? WWE, man. Yeah, but Vince McMahon says they're doing all the right things. We know what we're doing. Yeah, sure you do. Dean Ambrose is good as gone. I don't think it's going to be an issue moving forward as we get closer to WrestleMania. Why is WWE signing so many names for backstage roles? I don't know. The one thing I could fucking tell you is that the AEW effect is running wild. It's like Raccoon City in this bitch. It's like the T-virus running through the fucking police station, man. So make sure you guys are aware that the AEW effect is in full effect. Now, why are they signing so many backstage producers? I don't know. But I could tell you that Audible offers 200,000 audiobooks. You like that transition, right? They're offering you a lot, man. They're offering you a lot. 200,000 audiobooks for your service on Audible, man. If you guys want to sign up and experience Audible, you guys can certainly do that, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. What you are going to get by using our unique link is as follows. You're going to get 1 month free of their service. You're going to download the app on your iPhone or Android devices, and you're going to go through the sign-up process. You got 30 days to browse Audible service for free. And here's the best part. Once you sign up, they're going to give you 1 free audiobook just for signing up. So audibletrial.com/offthescript. 30 days free of their service, 1 free audiobook. And the best part is, if you guys love Audible after the 30 days, you can obviously stay on and you can browse Audible and you can listen to whatever you want on Audible for one low monthly price. But if you feel like Audible's not for you and you want to cancel Audible on day 1 or day 29, not only do you cancel, but you get to keep your audiobook for free. They're not going to take that book away from you, man. They want you to try Audible, and they're going to let you keep that audiobook for free. So make sure you guys go and try Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Just like Audible having so many audiobooks, why does WWE need so many backstage producers? Well, you know my reason for that, but WWE's brought in a lot of names to the company recently to play backstage roles, or have backstage roles in the company. Abyss, Sanjay Dutt, Hurricane Helms now has signed on. They're all employed by WWE. But you might not see them on camera much. Another big name that WWE brought back is Jeff Jarrett, who unfortunately is being shown on television. I'm wondering why even now. But a lot of fans, not only are they wondering that, but they're wondering why WWE is bringing in so many big names to play backstage roles. While it is possible that some of the urgency could be related to AEW, some of the urgency, I think most of the urgency, is directly correlated to AEW. But according to sources, WWE needs the help anyway. Now, they have 5 working brands and need those brands to be staffed. They got Raw, they got SmackDown, they got NXT, they got 205 Live, they got NXT UK. So I can understand that. There's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot of space, there's a lot of opportunity that WWE sees for these brands, and they might want to put these names on those brands. Now, the AEW thing is obviously one of the things at the top of the list in concerns to this story. But I could also see why WWE has so many brands and so many hours of television that they need qualified people who have been with the company, people who have been in the business, to man these positions. Now, with WWE's deal coming up soon with Fox, which we'll talk about tomorrow, there's a lot of news going around that Fox could cancel WWE before we even get to October. I don't think that's going to happen. But WWE obviously needs to step up their game. And the position that WWE could be in on Fox could be really, really bad if things don't shape up and get better soon. There is absolutely no way Fox would keep SmackDown on television if they continue to produce the quality of content and the ratings that they're getting now on Fox in October. Fox will cancel them. This is broadcast television. They will be canceled. But I think before they're canceled, Friday might be a temporary slot. They move them to Thursday. They might move them to Wednesday. We don't know. They are now Fox's bitch. So that's what I think about that. But the deal's coming up soon. And WWE will be forced to change up their schedule because SmackDown will be on Fridays. Therefore, it is better for staff and WWE in general if they have a different set of agents on each main roster brand. Man, Raw needs to be gutted from the inside out. Why don't we start with that? Why don't we address the issue now? Why don't we get some fresh faces and some fresh ideas on fucking Raw? Fuck SmackDown. SmackDown will be fine. Raw needs the new faces, and like I said, that shit needs to be gutted from the inside, man. Gutted like a fucking fish. Does Monday Night Raw need to be? Now, we've heard about any new signings coming. Oh, we haven't heard any new signings coming on in the near future, but you never know what WWE might present with a deal for someone. They might present deals that they can't pass up for these types of guys. So, after all, WWE tried to get Hurricane Helms for a long time before finally convincing him to come on board with the WWE. We talked about that last week where, it was something that they wanted, and they were looking at him well before AEW was even into play. But names like Abyss and Sanjay Dutt and Jeremy Borash, names like that, they were brought on in because WWE knows that those types of guys could be valuable to an AEW. So it is definitely the AEW effect, mostly. But WWE does have a lot of TV time to fill and a lot of shows in which they need backstage producers. WWE is advertising a superstar shakeup following WrestleMania. This would excite me, but at the same time it doesn't. Because the superstar shakeup was supposed to be exciting the last time. And it made Monday Night Raw some of the worst television I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, it appears that WWE is going to do another first on television as the company has made a change to the annual superstar shakeup. I am afraid that WWE realizes that the Monday Night Raw roster is fucking terrible. I think they realize. I would be shocked if they don't. But I think that someone or most of the people in the company, people of importance anyway, know that SmackDown's roster is so much better than Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw's roster is fucking horrendous. Horrendous. There's nothing or nobody on that show that I find interesting. Even Seth Rollins doesn't give me that allure anymore. So I think with the next superstar shakeup, they may honestly gut SmackDown Live and make Raw the A show completely. As far as name talent goes, I hope not. I hope SmackDown isn't really treated like WWE's bitch, like it usually is. But we'll see. And I kind of want to hope not to think that way, because with Fox coming up, you know that they're going to have to give SmackDown some pretty decent fucking names. So I'm hoping not to. But normally with these shakeups, I'm excited about it. In this instance, if it's not making Monday Night Raw better than it is now, I don't really give a shit. During Monday Night Raw's episode, this was in Canada, they aired a commercial in Canada to promote the upcoming Raw TV event in Montreal on April 15th, where it was featured in the promo that the first international superstar shakeup will occur at this show. As of this writing, WWE is yet to confirm the upcoming edition of the superstar shakeup, but will likely do one after WrestleMania 35. This will be a change from previous shakeups in recent years. What will not change is the fact that the shakeup will continue the next night on SmackDown Live, which will also be held in Montreal. Last year, the edition of the Superstar Shakeup went down on April 16th and April 17th. That saw some big moves on both the red and blue brands. This includes Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal's a big name, folks. He's a former WWE champion, Jinder Mahal. You realize that, right? Yeah, unbelievable. Yet Rusev can't get a fucking spot on television. Or a prominent spot on television. Sami Zayn, the Riot Squad, Natalya, Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Mojo Rawley, Zack Ryder. Oh my God, man, such great names over here. Well, Raw, or SmackDown rather, got Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, R-Truth, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Asuka, Sheamus, and Cesaro. They were some of the talents moved to SmackDown Live. The others were moved to Raw. I don't really care, man. Listen, Monday Night Raw needs more than a superstar shakeup. I think we all know this. And if you don't know this, you're an ignorant fucking idiot. Monday Night Raw needs to be gutted. Okay? We need an intro to start the fucking show. I fucking hate when we go into these shows and we don't have the opening video package like we used to see back in the day. I gotta hear Tom Phillips mention, welcome to whatever city that we're in. This is SmackDown Live. Or this is the number one weekly most episodic TV show of all time. This is Monday Night Raw. Whatever the fuck they're scripted to say. Nauseating. They sound like fucking androids coming off the conveyor belt. This commentary team. The commentary team needs to go. We need an excitement or a level of excitement in the intros. Renee Young has to go. She is miserable on commentary. And no, that's not because she's a female. She's just bad at what she does. I don't give a fuck if you're an animal or a woman, a male, an alien. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're Jesus Christ himself. Okay? If you are bad in that position, I will tell you that you are bad. And the majority of the people think that Renee Young and the commentary team in general is just god-awful. We need fireworks or fucking pyro, something to bring a level of excitement to this show. New theme music would help. We need a different vision of the show. It's just shot in the same formulaic way. Remember when SmackDown Live moved to being SmackDown Live, how we had those different camera angles and whatnot? I feel like WWE's just gone away from all that. There's nothing that makes this show stand out from SmackDown Live, and vice versa. It needs a different format. Instead of starting the fucking show off with a promo for 20 minutes, the show needs to be just formatted in a different way, man. They're so comfortable in doing what they think is right. And meanwhile, what they're doing is absolutely killing the show. To a point where no one is watching the show anymore. It is god-awful every fucking week. So we need, not only for the shake-up to really shake things up, but I honestly think Monday Night Raw needs to have things shaken up, just in general for that show. Things need to change. You really want a fucking true shake-up? Then change Monday Night Raw the way it needs to be changed. And I don't like these shake-ups anyway. I don't like the format of these shake-ups. You're watching Monday Night Raw one week and SmackDown Live one week, and then you watch the next week, and then, oh, this guy was on Raw last week, but now he's showing up on SmackDown Live. Like, what is the process? They don't really tell you what the process is. It's like you take a snow globe and you fucking shake the motherfucker up. Where's the guy gonna land? I don't like that at all. If WWE really wanted this to be special, they should do a draft. We should have a fucking draft. Everybody from both brands is on Monday and Tuesday, and you get your fucking name shown in a draft lottery. Make it like an MLB or an NBA or an NFL draft. Give me that real sports-like feel. Enough with this fucking bullshit. Oh, Kevin Owens showed up on SmackDown, now he's on Monday Night Raw. No rhyme or reason, no explanation. Just who they want on what show. And most of the time, their decisions don't really mean anything anyway. There's no rhyme or reason for why one guy was here and now he's here. Is he going to help this show? Is he needed here, or is he better set on being on the other show? What about the tag team division? Shake up. You're going to merge the divisions? What about the women's shit? You're going to merge the divisions now that we have tag team titles that have come into play? Seems like there's no information about this, and WWE is just booking on the fly like they usually do. I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. Seth Rollins and AJ Styles are hurt. How hurt are they? Are they even hurt? Well, according to them, they're not. Misinformation floating around on social media. Seth Rollins is out of action. He didn't appear on Monday Night Raw this week, and even though he was in Portland, he wasn't on TV. WWE carried on with his storyline throughout the night with highlight reels from the previous week. Dave Meltzer was asked about Rollins' injury status on the Wrestling Observer Live. He said that the Architect is suffering from a back injury, but this is not going to keep him from WrestleMania. Okay, so Seth Rollins has a bad back. He was off TV on Raw. They're going to rest him up. I was told it's not WrestleMania threatening. He might not be on the next pay-per-view. That one, I don't know, because the pay-per-view is only in a couple of weeks. WWE needs star power when building to WrestleMania. Rollins' injury comes at a very inconvenient time, but at least he has all of February and March to heal up. Now, hopefully he can keep from re-aggravating his condition in the upcoming weeks, so he can be ready for what will probably be a very difficult challenge as he is going one-on-one with Brock Lesnar on April 7th. Now, AJ Styles was reportedly out with a hernia. He reportedly is out with a hernia. This was first reported by Dave Meltzer, but AJ Styles shot that down in a big way. Not only is he shooting down reports of a new contract that he signed, but he's shooting down reports of now an apparent injury. I guess nothing is right when it's on the internet. This doesn't change the fact that the narrative is still out there. Dave Meltzer noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that Styles has a hernia. However, on Tuesday, when he was cleared, he was listed as still having injuries to shoulder and abdominal. Styles continued his online assault on pro wrestling journalism with a tweet that discredited this information for not being based on facts. He says, and I quote, "Reporting in this world is not being based on facts, but who could get the story out first?" Seth Rollins then chimed in. Apparently Rollins is not as hurt as people are reporting. He chimed in, to Styles and quoted Styles, replying by saying, "Ain't that the truth?" This is a very interesting situation because Rollins is reportedly out of action with a bad back. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com reported that he's spoken to people backstage and nobody he's heard of in the company that's close to this situation has heard of AJ Styles having a hernia at all. Sean Ross Sapp says, and I quote, "I was told backstage that nobody heard anything of AJ having a hernia. I didn't hear anything of AJ sustaining any type of hernia or anything like that." End quote. So this might be another case of things not being what they seemed. John Pollock reported that Styles was dinged up, which doesn't mean that he has a hernia. However, he reported that Styles was dealing with injuries. Now, it looks like Styles is okay because nobody has heard of this issue backstage. AJ Styles was on SmackDown. I believe he delivered a phenomenal forearm to somebody. I don't remember who it was, but he delivered a phenomenal forearm on SmackDown Live in the closing segment of that show. So I guess he can't really be as injured as people expect, or he can't be as injured as bad as it's being reported. You know, he's not going to be doing phenomenal forearms if he's got a shoulder injury or abdominal injury. Worst case, a fucking hernia. So maybe he's not injured at all. Or maybe he's cleared. He was dinged up, and now he's not. They cleared him. I don't know. Whatever the case is, the pro wrestling landscape on social media, man, people fucking come at me for being salty, and I bench them. I can't take someone else's opinion. Why don't you look at the fucking guys that you're watching every fucking week, man? I've never seen bigger babies than a pro wrestler. Oh, you're misinforming the audience. This is not the case. Why don't you shut your mouth and stay in your lane? How could you talk about something when you're not physically in there doing it yourself? So it doesn't give me the right to fucking say if something's good or bad. Well, obviously something is wrong. So obviously you were hurt. It's like they don't want anybody to know anything. It's none of your business. Motherfucker, you're in the spotlight. You're on TV weekly. You're a major name in this business. You are a public figure. So if there's information out there, it's going to be reported. You need to let people know what's going on. I don't understand this shit. It's not like it's a personal fucking thing. Guy's hurt. The guy's hurt. Who cares? We're just concerned. Look at it this way. We're concerned about your well-being. We want AJ Styles healthy because we love what you do so much. Come on, man. Fucking pro wrestling. The pro wrestlers on social media, man, on Twitter especially. Fucking crybabies. Jesus Christ. Finally, guys, we're going to end with this one. Speaking of injuries, Mustafa Ali is working injured on SmackDown Live. Mustafa Ali broke out of 205 Live. I love Mustafa Ali. I think he's fantastic. Now, he moved out of 205 Live, ended up on SmackDown Live. TJP was alluding that he might have gotten there for other reasons than his talent. I don't know. TJP, I think, was accusing Mustafa Ali of politicking backstage, that he talked to the right people. TJP obviously went on Instagram and mentioned something. I'm not the most outspoken person. I don't play politics, and this and that. If I did the same thing as others on this show to get promoted, I would be in the same position. Sounds like someone is jealous and salty of Mustafa Ali's success. There's no way you can not think he doesn't deserve it. The guy's fantastic. Regardless of that, Ali's in a great place on SmackDown Live. He's going into the Elimination Chamber. He's getting a WWE Championship match against 5 of the best on SmackDown Live. Mustafa Ali is set for a WWE title opportunity if he can survive in the Elimination Chamber. Fightful. Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that Mustafa Ali has a tailbone injury. He's currently working through this injury, and it won't cause him to miss any in-ring time. It was great to see Ali wrestle through this setback, but you got to wonder what type of shape he's going to be in going into the Elimination Chamber. Now, Mustafa Ali, if you guys have been following him on social media, he got a nasty black eye. And a lot of people thought it came from the RKO spot. He was going for the 054, and Randy Orton pulled his leg off the top rope, and he pulled him into an RKO. Fantastic fucking spot. It was actually Mustafa Ali laying on his back when Randy Orton started to do those kicks that he does when his opponent is on the ground, that dissection. He just kicks all of your major body parts. Mustafa Ali, during that sequence, sat up, and when Orton went to go kick him in the face, he legitimately kicked Ali in the face and gave him a black eye. So much so that it looked like it was about to fucking pop. It was nasty. So from this point on, if Mustafa Ali is working now with a black eye that badly, and who knows if he has a fucking possible concussion, working through all that, and he's working through a tailbone injury, I think it's best we keep him off television right now and just give him a microphone if need be, going into the Elimination Chamber. Let him rest up for the remaining days before the pay-per-view so he's not completely banged up going into the Chamber, because I know the Chamber is going to take a physical toll on that man's body. It always does. And WWE have gone out of their way to protect the performers in the Chamber. They've added padding. They've given you a little bit more of a compact, smaller cage. But the padding is the one thing that they've changed more so than anything, because they don't want their performers to be thrown around on the legitimate steel. You know, the Elimination Chamber was the old school way, just the steel, and that's got to take a fucking massive toll on someone's body. WWE's gone out of their way to protect their performers, give you the same environment that the Elimination Chamber is supposed to produce, but they're protecting their performers in the process. And if you have a problem with that, you're a fucking idiot. I don't want to hear about, they changed the Chamber, they made it less brutal. They're going to make it brutal. With guys like Orton, Styles, Ali, Joe in the Chamber, I think it's going to be a great match. So we'll see what happens, man. Mustafa Ali working injured. I would honestly, if I'm WWE, keep him out until the Chamber. Rest him up as much as he can and get him back in there for the Chamber so he's good to go. He's not going to be good to go, but he's going to be better than he has been, at least, with some days rest. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much for all of your support. This has been Off the Script 260, the 5-year anniversary of Off the Script, part number 1. If you did enjoy today's video, please hit that thumbs up and let me know what you think down below in the comments. Please go and get your t-shirts, man. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. You guys know we have 17 designs on Barbershop's website. Use code BSHOP20 for 10%, 20%, not 10%. It is 20%. I just checked it. Coupon code BSHOP10 for 20% off all of your purchases, man. Any shirt you want, as many shirts as you want, 20% off everything. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Remember, harrys.com/script for your $13 free trial set. audibletrial.com/offthescript for your free audiobook and 30 days free of their service. Follow me on social media at JD4MY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD4MY206. Get the new shirt on Bonfire. Bonfire.com/ I think it's bonfire.com/store/offthescript. Link is in the description down below. And go check out all the other videos that I uploaded this week, man. We got SmackDown, we got Raw, we got OTS Extra, we got NXT, we got some Resident Evil gameplay as well, man. Thank you guys so very much for all of your support. Like I said, hit that thumbs up, and I will see you right back here on Saturday for part 2 of Off the Script. I will be in Queens most of the day. House of Glory, recapture the glory, man. LAX versus the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix. Man, what are you guys doing with your Saturday night? I know what I'll be doing. I'll be calling one of the best tag team matches you'll see all year, and quite possibly the greatest House of Glory match we may ever see, man. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll see you then for Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.